Why be ordinary when you can be flamboyant? Wancheka Radio. Be flamboyant.
Good evening, and here are the major stories for today. Acting President Yemi Osinbajo has ordered the immediate overhaul of the Nigeria Police Special Anti-Robbery Squad (SARS) following allegations of human rights violations. Osinbajo's spokesman Laolu Akande, in a statement this Tuesday, said the Inspector General of Police Ibrahim Idris has been directed to ensure that the new police reform agenda of the squad is strictly intelligence-driven and restricted to the prevention and detection of armed robbery, kidnapping and apprehension of offenders linked to the stated offences and nothing more. The acting president also directed the police chief to ensure that all operatives in the emerging unit conduct their operations in strict adherence to the rule of law and with due regard to international human rights law and the constitutionally guaranteed rights of suspects. He added that operatives should also bear proper identification anytime they are on duty. Osinbajo further mandated the National Human Rights Commission to set up a special panel that will conduct an investigation of the alleged unlawful activities of SARS in order to afford members of the general public the opportunity to present their grievances with the view to ensuring redress. The directive comes after months of the street and social media protest against the police unit, which has over the years become synonymous with brutality and wanton arrest. The Nigerian Army says it has uncovered a Facebook and other social media accounts allegedly used by a faction of the Boko Haram group to recruit new members. Artillery Commander of Operation Lafia Dole, Muritala Usman, who disclosed this while speaking at the ongoing Nigerian Army Combat Support Training Week in Maiduguri, said the social media account had 2,000 followers and was discovered while interrogating one of the notorious Boko Haram commanders identified as Malo Maman Barde, who was tracked and apprehended 40 kilometers south of Ran area in Kalabagia local government area of Borno State. Usman said insurgents from the Al-Banawi faction of Boko Haram group were recruiting new members on social media platforms including Facebook, WhatsApp, Snapchat, Instagram and YouTube. According to him, the suspect's mobile phone had several videos soliciting finance for the group, as well as offensive videos where Barde was seen preaching jihad and the ideology of the group. The National Assembly this Tuesday postponed a key election meeting on an expenditure proposal for the February polls, raising fears that the election may be delayed. Last month, President Muhammadu Buhari sent a supplementary budget to the lawmakers requesting a reallocation of 229 billion naira, partly to help fund the vote next year. Estimating the cost of the general election at 242 billion naira, the president asked the lawmakers to reallocate 164 billion naira to the electoral body now and the remainder from the 2019 budget. But the lawmakers in a statement said they had not received proper documents necessary to approve the reallocation and that the timing was inconvenient because many members of the necessary committees had traveled to Saudi Arabia for the Hajj. Analysts say the tussle over election funding is yet another sign of discord between the executive and the legislature in the run-up to next year's polls. And a federal high court in Abuja has insisted that the Inspector General of Police must arrest and produce the chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, Mahmood Yakubu, in court on August 16. Justice Stephen Palm gave the order today following the absence of Yakubu's team of lawyers in court without an explanation for their absence. At the commencement of proceedings, counsel to the applicant, Kanayo Okafor, informed the court that the Court of Appeal had on Monday asked the court to stay precedents in the matter. However, due to the absence of the respondents, Justice Palm adjourned the case until August 16 for continuation. In international news, South Africa is to stamp out pit latrines in state schools within 2 years after a 5-year-old pupil drowned in a toilet in March. Lumka Mkiptua's death in March in rural Eastern Cape Province came 4 years after another 5-year-old Michael Komape had also died after falling into a school toilet in the northwestern province of Limpopo. The case in March prompted President Cyril Ramaphosa to launch an audit of sanitation facilities in the country's 25,000 schools, out of which over 4,500 have pit latrines. President Ramaphosa is convinced that the initiative will save lives and restore the dignity of tens of thousands of the nation's children. The Sanitation Appropriate for Education SAFE program will be funded in partnership with private groups, including the Nelson Mandela Foundation and UNICEF. A motorway bridge has collapsed in the northwest Italian city of Genoa, crashing vehicles 295 feet into the ground and killing at least 22 people, officials have confirmed. Video footage appears to show one of the towers holding up the suspension bridge collapsing in stormy weather as vehicles fell along with bridge debris onto rail tracks and a warehouse. Emergency workers are trying to free people caught in crushed vehicles and are using sniffer dogs. Transport Minister Danilo Toninelli has described the incident as an immense tragedy. Shares in Atlantia, the toll road operator which runs much of the country's motorways, fell 6.3% after news of the collapse. In the meantime, French President Emmanuel Macron has tweeted a message of sympathy to the people of Italy, saying France is ready to offer any necessary aid. And a man has been arrested on suspicion of terrorism offences after a car crashed outside the Houses of Parliament. The vehicle swerved into cyclists and pedestrians in the early hours of today, injuring 3 people. The yet-to-be-identified suspect in his late 20s is not believed to be known to MI5 or counter-terrorism police and is not cooperating with officers. He's been held at South London Police Station and the vehicle is being searched. Scotland Yard's head of counter-terrorism, Neil Basu, said since the act seems to be deliberate and carried out at an iconic site, it's been treated as a terrorist incident. He added that there were no current intelligence of further danger to London or the UK as a whole. In business, President Muhammadu Buhari has promised 2 million Nigerians collateral-free loans to start up a business in a bid to reduce unemployment level in the country. According to a statement released today by Laolu Akonde, Senior Special Assistant to the Acting President Yemi Osinbajo on Media and Publicity, the Buhari administration is key to ensure that traders are able to build their businesses and grow. One of the initiatives of the administration, Trader Money, was launched last Tuesday in 5 markets in Lagos State, including Mushin, Ikotun, Agege, Ketu and Abule-Egba, with tens of thousands beneficiaries already. The scheme will soon be taken to other states in the country, with Abia and Kano State next in line. And Netflix Incorporated Chief Financial Officer David Wells plans to step down after 8 years in the position. No reason has been given for the decision, but correspondents gathered that Wells will stay on with the company to help choose a successor and transition. In entertainment, the Mini Cooper that Madonna drove while living in London is up for grabs on Auto Trader. Madonna sang about the car in her 2003 hit American Life, I Drive My Mini Cooper and I'm Feeling Super Duper. The Queen of Pop used the car, which has a guide price of £55,000, in the early 2000s when married to Guy Ritchie and later sold it to a driver. He then sold the car to a collector who is now offering it on the used car website. The 3-door vehicle, described as being in immaculate condition, was reportedly used by Madonna for 4 years to drop her daughter off at school and to drive to the recording studio where she was working on a 9th studio album, also titled American Life. Meanwhile, the Material Girl has a big birthday coming up on Thursday, her 60th. And in sports, an August 20 ultimatum has been issued to Nigeria by FIFA to reinstate Amaju Pinnick as NFF president, or else the Football Federation will be suspended. The World Football Governing Body, in a statement released this Tuesday, said Nigeria will be suspended for contravening the FIFA statutes in relation to undue influences if the NFF offices are not handed back to the legitimate executive committee led by Pinnick. Pinnick emerged NFF president after an election on September 30 of 2014, but his opponent Chris Giwa had faulted the election and claimed to have emerged winner from an earlier vote in August 2014, which FIFA refused to recognize. Giwa had on July 1, 2018, forcefully taken over the NFF Secretariat as president-elect of the Federation, claiming his authority from a Supreme Court ruling. But on July 23, security operatives ejected the Giwa-led board to reinstate Pinnick and his executives. The statement said the suspension will be lifted when Pinnick and the NFF General Secretary Mohamed Sanusi confirmed they have effective control of the Federation and its offices. According to FIFA, if the suspension takes effect, the Falconets, who are competing at the FIFA Under-20 Women's World Cup in France, will be allowed to remain in the tournament on an exceptional basis, given that the tournament is underway. It could, however, affect the Super Eagles Africa Cup of Nations qualifier against Seychelles on September 7. Former Cameroon captain Samuel Eto'o Fails is signed for Qatar Sports Club. The Qatari top flight announced the signing via its Twitter account and said Eto'o would be presented at a press conference today. The 37-year-old player moves to Qatar after leaving Turkish club Konyaspor by mutual consent earlier this month. And Portugal's Cristiano Ronaldo has been nominated for UEFA's Goal of the Season award, along with England's internationals Lucy Bronze and Elliot Embleton. Ronaldo's nomination is his overhead kick for former club Real Madrid against new employers Juventus in the Champions League quarter-finals, a selection believed to be better than Real forward Gareth Bale's spectacular overhead kick in the Champions League final win over Liverpool. Bronze's selected effort is a volley for Lyon against Manchester City, while Embleton's strike came in a European Under-19 Championship group stage victory over Turkey. They are part of a shortlist of 11 goals, one from each of UEFA's main competitions over the past 12 months. Those are the major stories for today. I am Binta Bhadmus.
Why be ordinary when you can be flamboyant? One Checker Radio. Be flamboyant.